here. Welcome to another episode of Legends with Elroy. Today I'm excited to tell you another story about Billy Bob the Knight. Now this one starts as he was taking a little rest. Someone's at the door. So Billy Bob made his way over to the door. And when he opened it, there before him was Barry the Brown Bear. And Billy Bob said, "Barry, whatever are you doing right now?" "Oh, I'm not wearing a watch." "Well, who cares? I know it's the middle of the night. So why are you here?" And Barry said, "Well, Billy Bob, you see, I have decided that my business is doing quite great. As you know, I have Barry the Brown Bear's bone broth, and it is known far and wide. But I've been thinking, how could I expand even more? And I had the idea that I could do billboards. You know, when people are walking to and fro between the kingdoms, if there was a big sign up there and I was on the sign and I might, have a little thing and I'm drinking broth or something like that, I mean, people would just love it." But you see, there's one issue. Now, me being a bear, I have fur, as you can see, and it's getting a little long and shaggy. So I thought I'd come to you and see if maybe you could give me a haircut. Billy Bob was like, "A haircut? Well, I suppose I could, but, I think I heard about some guy who moved in recently who might be able to help with that." And Barry said, "Oh, really?" And Billy Bob said, "Yes, indeed. You see, I think I heard of a creature who moved in just down the way. I believe his name was Wilhelm. And I think he would be a perfect help for what you need." So Billy Bob and Barry set off. And they got to the house of this creature right as it was probably about 7:30 in the morning. So they knocked on the door, and out from the door stepped a creature. You probably figured that was going to happen because, it was a creature's house and a creature. But anyways, it did. So there you go. And it was none other than Wilhelm himself. Now, Wilhelm was a weasel. You know weasels, they're those little things that have fur, and, they're kind of they're like rodents. And anyways, his name, as I said, was Wilhelm the Weasel. And he said, "Well, hello there. What exactly are all of you two doing here at my house at such an early time of the day?" And Billy Bob said, "Well, my friend here, Barry, needs a haircut." And Wilhelm looked him up and down. He said, "Oh, yes, indeed, he does. Ooh, quite shaggy. I am, of course, quite a barber. Do you need a shave, Billy Bob?" And Billy Bob said, "Why, how do you know who I am?" And Wilhelm said, "Well, you see, you're quite well known, Billy Bob. And I've heard many legends about you. And, well, I guess you look quite like one imagines you would look." Billy Bob was like, "Okay, wonder what that means." And so Wilhelm got Barry to get in the chair, and he started a snip, snip, a snip, snip, a snip, snip. It was kind of crazy, though, because he swung the chair around so Billy Bob could see him. And he's like, "All done, Billy Bob." And Billy Bob said, "He has longer hair than when he started." Say, "Oh, yes, I do believe that is the case." Ooh, whoops. So he got back to trimming, and it was, of course, a good, normal haircut after that. Although he gave Barry like a really long goatee. And so Billy Bob was like, come on, man. And Wilhelm was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. So anyways, they finished up. And Wilhelm said, Billy Bob, well, how about that shave? And Billy Bob said, well, that sounds nice. So Wilhelm got a nice towel that was very warm, and he put it on his face like this. And then, after a bit, he took some soap, and he started, and then he started talking to Billy Bob for a while. And they were talking about what it was like in this part of the kingdom compared to the part of the kingdom that Wilhelm had come from. And it was quite an interesting conversation. And Wilhelm went to get a little more shaving cream to put on Billy Bob's face when he realized Barry was eating the shaving cream. It turned out that Barry had brought a little biscuit with him, and he seemed to think the shaving cream was whipped cream. He was like, and all of a sudden, he started hiccuping, and every time he would hiccup, bubbles would come out. He'd be like, hip, and bubbles would boop. And you'd be like, boop, boop. Quite a hiccup noise. And Billy Bob said, oh my dear. And part of that was because only half his beard was shaved. The other half was not. And he was now kind of concerned because there wasn't any more, cream. Plus it was quite distressing to see Barry hiccuping like that. But they were able to get him to calm down. They gave him some water, and he counted to 13 or whatever and did all that stuff. And his hiccups went away. Thankfully, Wilhelm had more soap, and so he and there he was, clean shaven. And so then Barry said, Wilhelm, thank you so much for helping me out. A barber like you really should think about investing in something that's gonna help your hands continue to work well and help you be able to stay consistent and also be able to give people a good haircut every time. And Wilhelm said, well, yes, I would think that would be good. And Barry said, well, why don't you take some of this bone broth? And that one's on the house, but the next one you have to buy. So he and Billy Bob said goodbye to Wilhelm, and they went on their way. And I am told that they both went on their way, of course, and Billy Bob went home, and Barry went his way. But I'm told that the billboards turned out quite nice. Barry's doing quite well. But I digress. Billy Bob decided it was high time to take a little bath. His first bath, I was taking a bath all about a Saturday night. A rubber-dubber just relaxing in the tub. Someone's at the door. But that, my friends, is a story for another day. Well, I'll see you guys in the next episode of Legends with Elroy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya.